Welcome back to another episode of Podcast and Chill, everyone. I'm your host, Leo, the guy who can teach you something and make you laugh.
And I'm Gwen, your helpful host, here to explain today's topic.
We're going to talk about a very important subject, feeling sad for a long time. Feeling sad for a long time is something that many people go through, but not everyone really understands it.
We'll talk about what it means, the common signs, why it happens, how it affects your daily life, and how to get help.
Are you ready? Let's start. Let's start with understanding depression. Gwen, can you help us understand what depression is?
Sure, Leo. Depression is a common mental health problem that affects how a person feels, thinks, and acts. It's more than just feeling sad or having a bad day. Depression can make someone feel very hopeless or empty for a long time. It can change how they see themselves and the world around them. Depression can make it hard to do normal daily things, and it can even make someone think that life isn't worth living. But it's important to know that depression can be treated and there is help available.
So, depression is a serious issue that impacts many parts of a person's life. In front of others, I can seem happy and full of energy, but deep down, depression takes away all my energy. I lost interest in things I used to enjoy, and I often felt tired and sad for no clear reason. It was like carrying a heavy weight all the time. I knew something was wrong, but I didn't understand it was depression until I talked to a doctor.
Thank you for sharing that, Leo. It sounds really tough. Now, let's go over the common signs of depression.
What are the common signs of depression that people should know about, Gwen?
Depression can look different for everyone, but there are some common signs to watch for. These include feeling sad or hopeless most of the time. People with depression might lose interest in things they used to enjoy. They may feel very tired or have trouble sleeping, either too much or too little. Another sign is having trouble focusing or making decisions. Some people might feel like they have no value or feel guilty, and in serious situations, they might even think about death or ending their life. It's important to remember that these symptoms can be different for each person. Did you experience any of these symptoms, Leo?
Yes, I did. I often felt very tired, even when I hadn't done anything hard. I also had trouble focusing on my work or even easy tasks like reading. The worst part was feeling worthless and hopeless, like nothing I did made a difference.
I understand that. No matter who we are or where we are, we can all experience depression.
Now, let's move on to what causes depression. There are several things that can lead to depression.
One reason is genetics. If someone in your family has had depression, you might get it too. Another reason is changes in the brain. Scientists found that people with depression often have different levels of certain chemicals in their brains. These chemicals, like serotonin, help control mood, and when they're not balanced, it can cause depression.
Some things in life can cause depression, like losing someone you love, ending a relationship, or having too much stress. Even good changes, like moving to a new place or starting a job, can feel too much and lead to depression.
Growing up in a stressful environment can also make it more likely to get depression later.
That makes sense. It sounds like depression can be caused by many different things. I've read that some studies have found a connection between stress and depression. Could you tell us more about that?
Sure, one famous study was done by Dr. Charles Nemiroff and his team at Emory University. They found that people who go through a lot of stress, especially as children, are more likely to get depression later. This is because stress can change the brain, making it harder to deal with problems as they grow up. Another study by Dr. George Slavich at the University of California, Los Angeles, showed that people under a lot of stress produce more of a hormone called cortisol. High levels of cortisol over a long time can lead to depression.
Thank you for those examples, Gwen. It's clear that depression can come from many things, and understanding these causes can help us deal with it better. Worthless definition: something or someone that has no value or is not useful. Example: when Leo was dealing with depression, he had trouble focusing on his work and felt worthless and hopeless. Tough definition: difficult or challenging. Example: dealing with depression was very hard for Leo because it made everything in his life feel tough. Symptom definition: a sign that something may be wrong with your health. Example: one common symptom of depression is feeling sad or hopeless for most of the day, nearly every day. Genetics definition: the study of how features like eye color or height are passed from parents to their children. Example: genetics can be one cause of depression, meaning that if someone in your family has had depression, you might be more likely to experience it too. Hormone definition: any of many chemicals in the body that influence the body's growth and how it works. Example: Dr. George Slavich's study shows that high levels of the hormone cortisol, which is often produced during stress, can lead to depression.
How did Leo describe his experience with depression? Leo said he felt trapped in a dark place, lost interest in things he used to enjoy, felt tired all the time, and always felt hopeless. What are some possible causes of depression? Possible causes include genetics, changes in brain chemistry, stressful life events, and environmental factors.
Now, let's talk about how depression affects daily life. Depression made everything feel harder. Some people find it hard to get out of bed in the morning because they don't feel excited about anything.
At work, they couldn't pay attention and their job performance got worse. They also stopped hanging out with friends because they didn't have the energy or interest.
Even easy tasks like cooking or cleaning felt too difficult. It's not just feeling sad, it's like everything in their life became hard. We cannot use sentences like, "Don't be sad anymore." Go out and have fun to encourage people with depression.
That sounds really challenging.
Yes, depression affects many parts of the brain that control how we feel, think, and behave. Depression can affect sleep, making a person feel tired all the time, which makes it harder to get through the day. It can change how a person thinks, making them feel like nothing they do is right, which can cause problems at work or school.
It can also hurt relationships because the person might pull away from others or find it hard to talk to them.
That's right. It's clear that depression is more than just feeling sad. It's something that can seriously impact every part of a person's life.
So, what should someone do if they think they might have depression?
The first step is to talk to a healthcare professional, like a doctor or psychologist. They can figure out if someone has depression and suggest ways to treat it.
The treatment for depression depends on how serious it is. One common treatment is therapy, like cognitive behavioral therapy, which helps people change negative thoughts and behaviors that make depression worse. Another option is medication. Medication can help balance brain chemicals that control mood. It's important to find the right treatment for each person because what helps one person might not work for someone else. Let's continue, Leo. Could you share what are some ways that we can support someone who is dealing with depression?
Absolutely. One of the most important things you can do is to listen without judgment. People with depression often feel alone, and just knowing that someone cares can make a big difference. As I've said before, it's important to be patient and not say things like, "just get over it," or "you have no reason to be sad." Instead, offer to help with simple but practical things like shopping or cooking. Encourage them to see a professional if they haven't already, and offer to go with them if they want.
Also, make sure to take care of yourself. Supporting someone with depression can be hard, so make sure you have support too. So, Leo, did you have someone who supported you during your depression?
Yes, my sister was a big help. She listened to me without judging and encouraged me to get help. She also checked on me often to see how I was doing. Knowing she was there for me made a big difference.
It's wonderful that you had that support, Leo. Psychologist. Definition: someone who studies the human mind and human emotions and behavior and how different situations have an effect on people. Example: psychologists can help people understand and manage their depression through therapy. Performance. Definition: how well someone does a task or job, often measured by quality. Example: Leo's performance at work got worse because he struggled to focus. Professional. Definition: a person who has the type of job that needs a high level of education and training. Example: it's important to seek help from a mental health professional. Treatment. Definition: the care provided to improve a condition, especially for a health problem. Example: cognitive behavioral therapy and medication are common treatments for managing depression. Medication. Definition: a set of medicines or drugs used to improve a particular condition or illness. Example: certain medicines can help balance brain chemicals and improve mood for people with depression.
Why is it important for someone with depression to see a professional for help? Because depression is a serious problem that usually needs treatment, like therapy or medicine, to help manage the symptoms. Why is it necessary to recognize the symptoms of depression early? Because it helps the person get help earlier, which can stop the problem from getting worse. That brings us to the end of our discussion today. We've learned a lot about what depression is, the common symptoms, what causes it, and how it can affect daily life.
If you or someone you know is having a hard time with depression, remember that help is available and it's okay to ask for it.
Thank you, everyone, for listening. And if you have any questions or topics you'd like us to explore, send us a message.
Take care of yourselves and remember that you're not alone.